Right now, we gonna grade the Indiana Pacers. We did the Heat, we did the Spurs. Let's grade the Pacers. First, we gonna talk about is Myles Turner. He was getting buckets in summer league, posting up, jumper, spot up, jumper, knocking down the three, knocking down the dribble, attacking the paint, getting block after block after block. He a versatile player. He can protect the rim, but he also can shoot the basketball, and he also has decent post moves. They said he was a prospect, but an NBA jump shot is an NBA skill set, and he's a decent rebounder. He gotta watch out for fouling when he go for the block, but he a solid rim protector. I don't know if he's on pace to be better than Roy Hibbert offensively, because Roy Hibbert couldn't really he only had one move, and that was a turnaround jump hook. Other than that, Roy Hibbert was nothing offensively. Myles Turner can do the hook, but he also can do the post up turnaround jump shot, and he can do the spot up jump shot, and he can stretch the floor to the 3 point line. So he's quicker, he's more athletic, he's more mobile, and he has a solid jump shot. So I like Myles Turner better for the future because his athleticism, his mobility, and his shooting ability. He has a higher upside, and he's only 19 too. So his potential is through the roof. So I like that pickup. So I give them a for that pickup and a trade for Roy Hibbert, who's getting paid $15 million a year. Now you get a rookie that's on a rookie contract. Only thing is the question is can Myles Turner be the defensive anchor that was Roy Hibbert? Can he be a defensive anchor? I know he's going to be better offensively, but can he be a defensive anchor like the Roy Hibbert? Because they could have kept Roy Hibbert and put Myles Turner at the power forward position, so that way he can be a stretch forward. But instead they get rid of Roy Hibbert and just allow Myles Turner to be the future center. So now they got to find a future power forward to fill the hole for them because David West left so quickly. He should have stayed at least one more year. But they end up getting, so far, they got the guy from the Lakers, the power forward for Jordan Hill from the Lakers, who I'm going to talk about right now, might as well, who's going to be a stretch four. He can knock down a 15, 18-footer, finish in the paint, rebound, and protect the rim. You put him with Myles Turner, you got athletic power forward and athletic center that can protect the rim and finish in the paint, and also have mobility in a big position. So you want your big position to be able to guard, pick and roll, switch to pick and roll, and be mobile enough to stay in front of the point guard and contest the layups and the shots inside the paint. So Jordan Hill does that, and he's a knockdown shooter, and he also has a decent post moves, but he don't see it as much with the Lakers because they limit him into a role player or just a spot up shooter. But he actually can post up, and he actually is a good finisher, and he's a solid rim protector for the power forward position. So that is a good addition, and he's still young, and he still has time to develop and to be a better player because he's still got a decent age. So I do like the pickup of Jordan Hill. He adds some versatility to the lineup, and he adds some mobility to the power forward position. And he also can play center like he did in the LA. So when they want to go small, they can put Jordan Hill at the center and space out the floor and have Paul George at the power forward position. And that'd be so good for floor spacing for George Hill and Monta Ellis to carve up that defense, kick it out to them, kick out to Paul George in the 3 point line, kick out to Jordan Hill at a small forward, at the power center position, kick out to Chris Copeland at the small forward shooting guard position, and kick out to the knockdown spot up shooter and George Hill. And that's the thing, Monta Ellis is just so versatile for this lineup because you can turn George Hill from a playmaker to a knockdown mid-range and spot-up shooter and let Monta Ellis be the primary ball handler and playmaker, and he's a better decision maker than George Hill, and he's the better offensive player than George Hill. So I'd rather have the ball in Monta Ellis as the point guard and use George Hill as the primary defender and Paul George as the primary defenders to guard the better players all against that goes against the Indiana Pacers. So have George Hill guard the point guards and have Paul George guard the best players on the team, and use Myles Turner and George Hill as the stoppers inside of the paint. So that way, Monta Ellis ain't a defensive liability for the Pacers like he used to be with the Mavericks. But you can use Monta Ellis as more of a scapegoat and just more of as an offensive player because you have so many good individual perimeter defenders to help out the deficiencies of Monta Ellis. And then you always got CJ Myles as a knockdown spot up shooter. So you can put him at the small forward position or him or Chris Copeland as stretch threes to knock down a 3-point shot. And then they re-signed Rodney Stuckey to a 3-year deal who's an instant offense off the bench. Add some good playmaking and ball handling ability at the point guard position or the shooting guard position. And he's pretty much a go-to scorer on this team. And he allows them to have a player to get buckets when the offense becomes stagnant and he can go get a shot or get to the free throw line. So I like what the Indiana Pacers did so far. And then last thing I'm talking about Chase Budinger. He's a good addition to this team. He's a backup small forward and stretch forward for the Indiana Pacers. He's a good shooter, good floor spacer, good slasher. Get to the paint, get some rebound. He just haven't been healthy enough these last couple years to be a contributor in the NBA. But Frank Vogel gonna make him more of a role player, and they mostly need him as a backup playmaker, as in a shot maker, I should say. But Paul George, when he gets to the bench or when he goes unhealthy, they got another small forward that can knock down the threes, knock down the mid range, and somebody that can come off screens and off pin downs and knock down open jump shots and keep the offense flowing and moving instead of it being stagnant. So I like the pickup of Chase Budinger. He's a solid player, and he don't have to do that much with the Pacers because they have so much talent. So I like what the Pacers did. I give them an A-2 because I like the addition of Monta Ellis as a playmaking fast point guard that can score in high velocity, playmaking, and get George Hill as a more defender, a 3 and D guy instead of a playmaker. And I like the addition to move Paul George to the small forward, the power forward. And I like the drafting Myles Turner. And I like the signing of Jordan Hill at the power forward position. So I like all these additions that they did. And I think it's going to help them be a top 4, the 4th best team in the East with Chicago, Miami, Indiana, and Chicago, Miami, Indiana is going to be the top teams in the East. There's a lot of teams in the East, man. It's going to be hard because you have the Milwaukee Bucks. That could be the 4th best team. I think Indiana is in that top 5, I should say. And it's going to be hard to beat this team because their defense and their offense is going to be on the same page. Hopefully, if Frank Vogel can work it out. Let me know what you guys think. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis signing out. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section below.